And we're on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mario, and this is IDK. That's perfect. I know it is really weird that I'm doing this alone today, but we'll get into that in a bit. Today, as last time, we're doing another special introduction with our special guest that we have. We have the Hakone Agency. And if you guys would like to introduce yourselves. Everybody knows Wayne at this point, but I think
I'm a little bit more sober than last time.
We've been long overdue for Eric.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I know I'm probably not the best communicator on Instagram, but it's not my forte. Well, we are the Hakone Agency, Hak-One. Obviously, y'all know Wayne. I'm Eric. And we've been doing this, 5 years independently, but 2.5 years collectively.
And this is artist management.
Artist
right?
management, event production, consulting. I mean, now we're getting into, we've made commercials now.
Nice.
We've done a TV show essentially. So
Yeah,
Nice, right on.
trying to expand,
Okay.
trying to grow.
And we'll go into that in a little bit. As we like to kick off the episodes, we would like to kick off with our shout-out segment. Would y'all like to start that off? Few shout-outs for a few people out there.
Go
yeah,
first.
I'll
Eric.
go. I'm going to give a shout out to Confucius and Fresh.
Hey.
After what happened on
Breaks.
Thursday, the breaks. Summer Jam 2020 was a big success, I think. And those two are doing incredible things. And to be honest, have really kind of stitched together a lot of the genres and different genres from hip hop and R&B and soul and everything. So I give a shout out to Confucius and Fresh.
Definitely an awesome partnership that y'all do. Because this is not the first thing I've done this, right? It's just
Right.
this year it's obviously improvised with everything going on. So
Yeah, we became friends with them probably 4 years ago. They were like, well, they really wanted to produce a show, a hip hop live show. They didn't really know who to work with, and we had been friends just through artist management and constantly just trying to be involved and get our artists on the radio. They asked us to help out, so just build a friendship. It's definitely a love-hate relationship.
Oh, yeah.
But no, ultimately we love those guys. And yeah, it's been a joy to work with them on like things that push the city of Austin
to elevate the
further.
scene.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
for sure.
Any shout-outs? You want to kick off, Wayne?
Shout out Eric's fantasy football team.
Kicking ass or
I
what?
think they won this week.
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Okay,
Shout
shout
out the
out,
Cowboys or what?
No, God, no.
shout out my fantasy football team for being 0-2. Shout out all the artists who performed on Summer Jam. It was like one of those lineups that like I think I wanted last year, and there's just so many talented people that it just couldn't happen until this year. But like shout out Vintage J for just doing the most and like just making the most out of the opportunities. Shout out Soulja.
Everybody, man, and
Yeah.
and it was a weird thing that didn't show up to a venue where there's people, where there's energy, there's stuff going on. You're not showing up to a stage, dealing with normal sound engineers. Now we were in this big warehouse. You could
You're
fit,
making sure it's perfect.
and now you're performing in front of
Yeah.
2 camera people, some sound people, and that's it.
It's hard to do. So they really stepped up.
Yeah.
So shout out to all of them. Shout out Dean at the hospital last night for helping my arm out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that shout out everybody. Yeah.
That's awesome. I have to give my shout-outs to my team because today is my first time doing this completely alone,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of people thought would have been a long time ago. But, yes. Shout out Ashley. Shout out Troy. Without them, this definitely would not be possible.
We miss y'all.
But special shout out to Troy. He's out there working in Lake Charles. Obviously, there's a lot of wreckage that happened out there due to the hurricanes and all that stuff going on. So shout out everybody that's still getting by. There's a
Yeah.
lot of good things happening, but still tough times.
It is, man.
sucks.
It's like it doesn't end, right?
No, like you try to be optimistic and then bad news after bad news, It's kind of
2020 is
tough.
a crazy year, man. But
Yeah.
hey, it's like this is the new normal now, so I think we're just used to the bullshit.
yeah, just taking them as it comes.
and it's almost done. Isn't that weird?
That's
That
what we
is
think
cool.
for now.
Well,
Yeah.
2020 is almost done.
Yes.
I feel like we just got kicked off.
Yeah,
The year that never happened,
right. Watch it turn into literally January 1st and everything goes back to normal.
right?
Just
That'd
wake
be
up. It's like,
trippy.
what are you talking about? Corona? What? That would be fucked up, dude.
That would be fucked up.
That's when the conspiracy theorists really come out of the woodworks on that one.
Oh my god.
So how are you out today?
Shit,
you look at it.
yeah, I'm okay. Like,
Yeah.
I've been better. We were playing a very competitive drunk game of wiffle ball yesterday. Went to make a diving fielding play, and
Landed wrong.
yeah, just popped my shoulder out. So the drugs were great. Thanks. Shout out to the hospital again. They left me on my own today, so shout out to the alcohol on this show. We're making it through.
There you go.
It was heavy for a while. We didn't know what to do for a second. I thought he was just going to get up and just
Panic mode.
Walk it off.
Yeah, I just need a minute, do some stretches.
Take you a while to get up or what?
No, I popped up right away. I just
Quick.
knew something was wrong.
But he was going,
Oh shit!
I
mean, I would
knew.
imagine.
Yeah, I just knew something. It's like I've never had a serious injury before, but I've talked to friends who popped their ACL or broken an arm, broken a leg, and it's like immediately when something's wrong, and like that's sort of what I knew.
It's been a crazy weekend. Thursday was Summer Jam.
Yeah.
Friday, Harry Doko played at Far Out Lounge.
Yeah.
And yesterday in a crazy competitive game of wiffle ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went up at the end of the night. We went up to a parking garage and started just home run derby at the top of this parking garage.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was
Sounds like a fun night.
It was
we
a
live
fun
in,
night,
you know?
man. It was a fun night. So we're glad to be here.
Now we're in the
Super glad to be
final quarter of 2020 for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that has happened for sure this year. Just alone, despite originally it was just the whole fight against South by shutting down,
Right.
and we were like coming together and starting our own scene. But then shit really hit the fan. We're like, we couldn't do shit. So it is really interesting and cool to see the way that you guys have managed to, along with Confucius and Fresh, to keep y'all's artists up there still. I mean, look at the success with DZ, with
Yeah.
Harry, and
Yeah.
Summer Jam. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's forced us to like think different.
for sure, a lot of out of the box ideas.
Yeah, like no idea is stupid because it could be good. Like
Yeah.
it could make sense. We take a lot of walks through our neighborhood and just shoot the shit and just talk about random ideas and
And we go deep down into like the rabbit holes too. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what about this? But what if we did the complete opposite of what we just talked about for the last 30 minutes? And then it's another 30 minutes of
nothing
that.
like ripping a bowl and just walking around
Right?
like any
Stargazing.
idea. Yeah.
Has that process obviously changed drastically compared to this time last year?
Oh,
I guess when
dude.
you were
Yeah.
planning for stuff.
I mean, this time last year, you had been back in Austin
6 months.
6 months. Wow.
Well, no, last year I'd been back 2 months,
Couple
right?
months,
Yeah.
He was in Poland for a while, and then I hadn't been working a job since April. We was very self-sustainable, self-employed. Like, and then to like feel like okay, you're starting to get your feet under you. We did a successful second summer jam. Things were really coming together with everyone we were working with. And then this year, like flash forward years, like shit that we never expect to be working on or have to be forced to do. And I'm grateful for it to a sense because it was like we wouldn't have thought this way, or we wouldn't have been forced to think this way a year ago.
It was a real rough first 2 weeks. I would even say first week afterwards, because in pre-COVID, it was kind of you could just keep building slowly. As long as you were doing most of the right things are going to work out. And then that came over with what we were planning on for South by, and we had a pretty good South by planned up with what we were going to do. And then to have that rug just pulled out under us was, we were on the porch and I was like freaking out because what do we do? What are we working on now? And he goes, bro, you need to chill because we're in this now and I'm not gonna like you if you keep doing
At
this.
this point, this is what y'all do for a living. Like, there's no, this doesn't work out. Y'all are
Yeah,
screwed out,
man.
right?
I don't.
That's when we ask the tough question.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about if it doesn't work out because like I'm
Bad
stubborn.
juju. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm just stubborn enough to like just hope that doesn't happen or that doesn't become a reality. And luckily to this point, it hasn't.
I mean, that's the sense of, I guess, motivation where everybody needs to, like, that's not an option.
Yeah, dude. Especially during COVID, it was like. Luckily, things bounced a certain way always, and like unemployment was cool. There was things that like kept us afloat month to month, and like that's how the shit works. It's like just as long as you keep pushing and like something's always gonna work. Something's always like you can't stop.
There's always a way.
Mm-hmm.
So it was weird those first few weeks because the world was in a tailspin and you didn't know exactly how to react.
But then once we did the Harry show, we went to an undisclosed location downtown and kind of made it look industrial because there was some construction going on. They were expanding. And once we did that and figured out that we could do something on our own,
like live stream,
live stream Harry for 25 minutes, and then it kind of like the light bulbs flashed a little bit where all the top dogs or all the record labels and everybody's kind of playing on this even ground now because everyone doesn't know what's going on and it's a new
Who figures
game.
it out first and sort of deal.
So let's just ask crazy questions about what we can do and talk about things because that's probably the best. 80% of the work is just talking back and forth and talking to Harry, talking to DZ, talking to Charles, talking to Confucius and Fresh, figuring out different ideas, and then just keep on thinking. And we just decided, hey, a lot of people are going right, and sometimes that's the easy way, but what if we did something like that? What if we're going out on a walk or something? Hey, what about this idea? Oh, that might be pretty good.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome. And it's obviously at this point the success has been pretty. It's been shown and publicly out there. Like y'all been on statement. I've been on. What was it? The Forbes. Yeah, we're on Forbes, right?
Yeah, shout out Forbes.
That caused a little stir up in the city, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So it is amazing to have that type of mentality and have something to show for it too. So.
And it's still a battle, like in this city especially. Like they don't want to give you credit unless you play their game.
Yeah, it's always like because each year it's the same old argument every year, just like who's doing what for the city or everybody's fighting. And I think it's a little too general that they overlook everything that's actually going on because we definitely have a new generation of artists that are actually doing stuff, and most of them were on the lineup for Summer Jam.
And that's what's crazy is like there's this battle in the community that we're in. And that's what we faced with the flack with the article. But there's the more important battle is the fact that like this city doesn't care about black music, and it's like doesn't care about rap music and doesn't care about soul, funk, R&B to a certain extent when you line it up against Americana or indie or blues or whatever. So it's like let's stop fighting with each other. Let's work together because we're trying to get the attention of everyone, not just
for the city as a whole.
Exactly.
In that article. The flack wasn't necessarily not justified. It was just a lot of kind of interpretations were taken off of that article, and by no means did we come in and say there was nothing here. We knew stuff was going here. I remember years ago I was volunteering at a nonprofit and was outside the Skylark Lounge talking to T-Double, who's OG of, if not the, one of the first, and another guy named Tomar who would be producing for Carnival Beats, who I'm pretty sure made the record, Still Tipping on Fofos.
I think that's Mira's people, right?
Yeah, her uncle.
So I'm outside Skylark Lounge for an hour asking questions.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of our research. I know in that article we didn't give the shine to that previous generation, which, we learn our lesson, but at the same time,
I mean, I feel like that's not really y'all's responsibility. Y'all are doing for what's going on right now, and it's not like you're coming in here and taking it away and making artists go under the city or representing another scene or taking all the glory for. That's something that obviously you guys notice is here in the city,
Yeah. And it's not on us, and frankly, we wouldn't be where we are without the people that we work without DZ, without Harry, without Charles, without Tita, without Confucius and Fresh. So we damn well know all that. But at the same time, if we do know these people, we might as well do as much as we can networking with each other and using each other's skills and figuring things out. And I mean, 3 years later after Summer Jam, I think it's made an impact onto the city.
For sure.
Yeah, and we talk about this all the time. I've talked to you about this before. It's like we're not from here, right? Like, and there's this small community here where it's like you sort of, whether it's Texas as a whole or Austin in general, it's like you don't really get respect until you earn it.
Yeah,
And I love that. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
But we got to earn it.
I feel like there's a huge difference too, because if you were to take a comparison, like obviously, like take me compared to y'all, like y'all are from out of town, y'all came here and started working, y'all did the research and did everything right that you're supposed to do. You know, y'all done everything that's needed. My end, I take that responsibility as if I have the knowledge of the history and the scene, I'm gonna try to do my best to either get somebody here who can talk about it, if not, speak as much as I can to my knowledge, you know, and that's the difference where it lies, because I don't think there's a lot of people. I mean, you have Confucius and Fresh, but they at the same time they can only do so much compared to what the city seems to be asking of, because they're wanting everybody to know, and it's like, you know, it takes baby steps. For a long time, maybe it was hard because a long time we were up against Houston, and Houston shined for a long time, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After Houston's era, it kind of feel like Texas died down for a bit, you know, but we can't stop working after that. It's the same
There's just
thing.
too many talented people here. Like, and it's beautiful. Like, I don't care if someone grew up here or if they came here from Dallas or if they came here, they moved to Houston and came back or whatever. It's like, there's incredibly talented people here who deserve a platform that this city hasn't provided them before.
Yeah.
So it's like, we got to kind of go out and make it ourselves. And like other people have done that and tried or done it to a certain extent and had success, but it's like, the sort of blessing that we had not being from here was like, we didn't see the barriers that were put in front of us if I was born here. Where it's like, okay, hip hop has never been appreciated. It's never been accepted. We didn't see that.
The shit that DZ saw at 18 years old, or Tita saw at 20 years old, or 16 years old. We just came in completely like, well, that don't make sense.
Yeah, why can't we do it? Like, why can't we win? Like, it doesn't, like, let's just do it. Like,
y'all are at KUTX, Confusion Fresh? Well,
let's throw a show. Like,
that makes sense.
Fuck it. So that's I mean, it's been a blessing. It blessed that stubbornness, or like, that alone has just been a blessing to like kind of come in and maybe have a refreshing thought onto like what we can do for hip hop in this city.
And that's probably just what the city's been missing for a long time.
Could
just
be
that outside of the box stuff, because
Could
it's
be.
always been so. I'm proud about, like, you know, typical, like, oh, they're from Austin, Texas, born and raised, where and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's something that just takes them out of the city perspective to change things up.
And trust me, we appreciate the support from people from here. Like, it wouldn't be the same if no one fucked with us. Like, to earn the respect alone of like Confucius and Fresh, born and raised, who've worked really hard to get to the platform they're at, down to anyone from here, and to earn that respect is like, it makes us, makes it worth it.
Tita, a homegrown kid, been rapping since, he'd probably say forever, you know? He's writing rhymes in high school and shit. To have a guy from born in Chicago, raised in Wisconsin, come down here and he'd be like, yeah, well, I want to work with you. And you had this whole city, you have all these people, so that goes to something for him. I'm walking down the street and DZ's delivering mail at my house, and I ask him, what the hell are you listening to? And he says, Kanye West, Travis Scott, myself. Okay, well, let's talk. And then next thing, here we are 4 years later. Wow. So it wasn't, something wasn't there before, some sort of connector wasn't there before. And if that's the role that we play, you know, we'll get rebounds and we'll play Dennis Rodman if we need to. You know, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are out there.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like that perspective.
Facts.
Yeah, like I said, at this point, it's awkward for me to be doing it. I was kind of in a panicky mode, because I was like, man, what if I have to record it alone? Like, I don't think I could do that. Like, respect to a lot of the podcasters that do the podcast alone, because I do not have enough confidence, or I don't know what it is. I can't just sit and talk to myself.
Dude, I've listened to so many podcasts over the last 5 years, and this is the first time I'm on one. So I'm sitting here thinking,
hey,
like,
I'm happy. I
man,
was able to pop your cherry.
What are people going to be listening to? Like, are they going to be like, damn, I need to fast forward through this part because they're not talking about anything worthwhile, or what? So I'm sitting here, and I know we pretty much just met, Mario, but
this will help.
Yeah, it's the first day, and it's a pleasure. I know we've been meaning to have you for a long time, because
that's a fact.
I mean,
you're the only DM I say in.
I'm glad. I don't get much DMs these days, but
or Freshes, but I'm just talking shit to Fresh all the time.
Fair. No, but it's great to be here. Like, you know, I told Eric on the way over, like, this is a podcast that is so important to this city. And I've told you this before too, but
Thank you.
to reiterate, it's like it takes all these things coming together to make something happen. Like it's not just the work Confused and Fresh do. It's not just the work KTX does.
It's not just the venues.
It's not just the rappers. It's not just the managers. Like it takes the whole ecosystem to like grow.
Yeah.
And so like this is important.
And you could sit down and listen to DZ or Drent or Jake Lloyd for an hour, 2, 3 hours or something. Be like, damn, I didn't know they went through all that. I didn't know they did that. That's how. Okay.
Man.
It opens up a whole nother like level of understanding someone rather than here's a short little chronicle interview that was transcribed off of a phone interview.
Yeah, and I always looked at that because my thing. First, I appreciate y'all for saying all that, but I've always looked at it as like I don't want to be considered. I don't want us to be considered interviewers or any sort of deal. Like because literally all we're doing is hanging out and just shooting the shit. That's when the best conversations, the best topics come out, especially when you're drinking. You know, like
of course,
what could go wrong?
Exactly. It's okay. I was losing
cheers
that game.
to that.
Hey, cheers, y'all.
Yeah, I did finish in second place.
Hey, second place is just first for losers, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in one way, I came out on top. I shout out all the Instagram love. Shout out to everyone.
He would get into the hospital and say, and be sitting there with his shoulder popped out.
Right.
We'll
Eric,
get a
take
picture.
Yeah, I need the content.
So I had to do the classic Wayne 2 piece like that. So
Catch him.
I won't let him know who the real Wayne 2 is though. That's still on the down low.
Wow. Yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. I think it's like this would be a good do you think we're really close to having Austin someone pop off? Because I feel like we're so close.
And I'll tell you this just from along my own experience. I've told you before. I've told people before. Like I've been following the scene since I was like 13, 14. The first time that I got hooked on, and this is the most that I've seen where it's not just a single artist going out and touring everywhere, because it's been done before. You have other artists that have managed to do it, but I feel like we're coming to a first to where the whole city as a whole is coming up and is having light shine, and despite the venues being closed down, despite COVID, despite like whatever it is they're throwing at us, like as people like y'all and everybody else that's just working together, that's elevating the scene. And I think we're getting close to that, you know, because a lot of the artists' names are also being brought up. Even when people do the whole top 25 of Texas, like, we have our people in there too, you know, and we do have big artists in the city. It's just some of them are just not haven't broken through yet. And I think we're pretty damn close.
And it's crazy as he talks about the whole ecosystem here. You know, y'all's podcast is big. I've listened to Drent. Then there's another gentleman y'all had on. I can't remember his name, but he's been around for a while and works with Certified a lot. I didn't know that kind of perspective. I didn't know that his story. So I got to sit down here for 2 hours waiting to get a damn COVID test. I was listening to y'all podcast while waiting to get tested.
Oh God! Damn! Shout out 2020.
So the ecosystem. Then I think the producers are either A, coming here, or B, getting better. Oh, yeah. I think the engineers are either A, coming here, or B, getting better. Yep. Big shout out to Elevate, because I think they're really holding down.
I feel like you got to get Mask on here at some point. Mm-hmm. Mask or Stilo, I feel like.
Mask and Stilo.
I think I spoke to Stilo, so that will be coming up.
Make that
Mask
happen.
Man,
you got to do like a big old hip-hop shindig. Like, you got to get 10 people here one time.
That'd be
that would be wild.
I've had big ideas, but for now, I guess it's just the fact that we're limited. But trust me, I've had big ideas that I want to bring to Troy, but Troy's like, we only have so much to do right now. You know, all this big shit I want to do. But
get on this
At the end of the day, it's Troy who ends up mixing and producing the video. So I can only ask him for so much. So, but I try to be considerate, you know.
So the whole ecosystem's coming here. I think the music, I think, is keeps on getting better.
It does.
And the city hasn't had its big time, and I think it's destined. So as long as each little facet of the scene kind of elevates, you know, as what is the saying is all if a rising tide, all ships
as long as every gear is moving.
Then,
Something like that.
something like that. I'm usually better at
Words.
the analogies, but it's been a long weekend.
It's all right.
So I think it's getting there, and I was pretty proud after Summer Jam,
Fuck yeah.
seeing what happened and just what we were able to do.
There definitely is a lot that's going on in the city. There's a lot of people in the city that do take care of the seriousness of the city, and I think that just is kind of forgotten about because, yes, you can say that every person is gonna try to be a rapper, but how many of those people are actually gonna take it serious?
Yeah.
Look up for the licensings for their music or
Yeah.
figure out how to manage them, and it's only a certain percentage of them. So it's like when you compare the amount of serious artists that are like dedicating their life to this career versus the people who just want to try it out, just say I rapped at one point or I'm just a rapper or whatever, and
Trust
don't
me,
do
bro.
anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you get DMs of people like, let me on the podcast.
I always feel like an asshole because I want to try to get everybody on, big or small, but then you know when people are serious.
Yeah, let me try. We get
It's
we get the
obvious.
same DMs, bro. Like, can you be my manager, etc., etc. But and that's like, we're so grateful to work with such talented people who like really take pride in their work because it makes our job it makes it easier. Right.
You say that now, but
mean-
we've also have gone through some crazy
yeah.
times because
Artists are crazy, bro. Like, shout out to all y'all. Y'all crazy.
I love you, DZ, and he makes some incredible music, but man, that guy has some wild ideas in his head, which
He
is
does.
a
Like
blessing.
I said, I always saw him as a Kanye West of Boston, so
Hey,
it
man.
makes sense.
Dog, we literally like bring that up every day. Like, "Oh, he's just being Kanye. Like, just chill out.
He is, man.
Yeah, but we had a good whiteboard session the other day, so I'll take that.
We did, and like it just being a rap manager especially is just a very weird job where you have to really care, really like a lot, like probably more about someone else than you do about yourself, which is like a hard line to balance. But they also need to work sort of harder than us, to a sense, like where it's like you talk about like it's
Y'all
like
have
are
to
y'all
want,
being
y'all
serious?
each have to want it as much as
Yeah, are y'all
each
being
other.
serious? Like, are y'all about to go to essentially war to defend your ideas or to defend your music? And like, that's the level that which
It's like playing
play at.
basketball, and you
Yeah.
don't have the help defender. You're like, yo,
good
dude,
is it? Yeah.
my bad, I got beat, but where the hell were you?
I need
So-
you, dog. Like, I
It's-
need you.
and it's a whole process, and it's something that sitting back on the corporate desk years ago, where you're sitting there saying, "Damn, I really want to do something with my life." It's nice to be on the other side, but that's when then you open up the whole,
man.
that's Pandora's box. Like,
Yeah, dude.
oh, this is what it takes.
Yeah,
It takes
bro.
a lot to be able to be like
hard.
in that sort of comfort, and I get that. Yeah,
And
for
this
sure.
is Mark Cuban said, this is the hardest industry in the world to be in. I don't know if that's exactly what he said or whatnot, but the
I mean,
music,
it's probably the most competitive.
the music
like,
industry.
Yeah, it's probably the most shadiest too because
Yeah.
like you think about any other
Kanye
business
contracts come out, and now you know.
Man, speaking of which, did y'all get any of the aftermath analysis
Google
of his 101
Yeah,
pages
dude.
of his contracts?
So I won't name his name because he's kind of a hater. But like he screenshotted every contract page and put it into Google Drive and shared it with
Damn.
everyone, which is cool. And it's like a cool thing to kind of go through and like because like you don't see
This is not gonna
contracts
happen
very
ever
often,
again. Like
ever.
nobody ever's gonna do this.
And like Kanye West is top 2 artists in the world, probably behind Drake, like or probably
he's
in line with
he's
Drake.
a household name.
From
At
numbers
least.
perspective.
Yeah.
From,
So to see his contract is like that shit you'll never see again ever.
It's the closest you
No.
could get to even looking at Drake's contract.
Yeah.
there's just such a disconnect, I think, between the people who sit in the boardroom at
Lawyers.
Warner
Yeah.
or
And the actual artist. himself.
Interscope and stuff, and knowing all that. So it's nice to kind of see some of the curtains pulled back.
It
But at
is.
the same time, I feel like a lot of people got caught up to what a lot of other people already knew.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like a lot of the, because I saw a lot of people having conversations about it. I've seen you have conversations about it, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's a difference just between like somebody who's actually in the field and does this for a living versus
Yeah.
people who just listen to music and
Yeah.
it's like, I'm either a Kanye fan or not. Like,
Yeah. Like we don't
just-
care about their masters. Like
Yeah.
just give us more music.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
No, it is super interesting and shout out Mason Flint for like really just taking over Twitter and just beefing with Kanye by himself. I love you, Mason.
I I like how outspoken he is on Twitter.
Yeah, I do too. Like,
he always point out the obvious.
I really do too. He has a great perspective, especially as a producer and like someone who understands the rap industry. So, shout out Mason. But like, it's a very interesting subject. And like, I was listening to Kanye's discography on a road trip I went on last week in Louisiana, and just like, he's such an interesting person and an interesting artist, and like the sort of concept that came to my brain about him was like, he's always been talking about things. Whether you look at his first album and it was Jesus Walks, or like just talking about things that are still relevant today. Whether it's like black identity or being a black artist, and like the sort of struggles that you go through and trying to grow in an industry and like be respected when it comes to like money, especially
battling the religion and the industry.
Man, it's crazy to think about. So like Kanye has always been a person to me that he speaks very loud. No matter what he's thinking. It can't be time stamped, because I feel like he's always talked ahead of where he's at. So like we always, like, even looking at that, like thinking about black artists and like their control of their art or their business when it comes to music, that Jesus Walks and talking about religion on like a radio scale, that was when did that album come out? 2007?
No,
or
that was
around
2002, right?
Okay, so maybe earlier. Like,
yeah.
Those
Almost
are
20 years
those
ago.
are still relevant issues that are being talked about today. He's always been a forward thinker, regardless if you take his ideas as right or wrong.
Yeah.
So whatever he talks about, cool. In 10 years, we'll probably be talking about artist masters and like talking about how that affects business when it comes to music. So I don't take it as like,
I don't think he deserves.
right or wrong.
I don't think he deserves the Kanye's off the Richter scale again. Kanye's going crazy because Kanye might not have the best delivery of communication, but we all know this. It's hard for humans to communicate now.
It is, man. We make it hard.
Especially like I was trying to tell Wayne on the way down here, like how I was feeling. It's like I know how I'm feeling, but I don't know if you're picking up exactly how I'm feeling on this.
We didn't connect.
Like we were in the hospital last night, dude. All right.
I did fentanyl and Molly. Like things are hard, bro.
So I don't think Kanye really deserves a lot of, he says there are some outliers that he says that are a little like, hey, I don't know if you necessarily thought about that. But his rant wasn't unjustified, I don't think. And I don't.
It's not. And I think
he is a forward thinker. And I think, did you watch the, and Sully put it on to us, and I watched the Nick Cannon interview with Kanye?
No.
You got to watch it because to me it kind of pulled back the curtains a little bit and understood Kanye really does think through things. He really does. And he's sitting there and saying, well, we might be in 2020 now, but how are we going to get where we want to be in 2040? How are we going to get where my kids want to be? And I don't think many people think like that. So it's hard for people to understand when he's thinking that far out, So that was an incredible interview to listen to, and
I'll definitely have to.
You should, yeah, it's good.
It's nice to see kind of the curtains pulled back on who he
and I
is.
think people just, they end up just praising him as a god, as I guess a lot of people do. A lot of stands do. You can't help it, but they completely disregard what that man has actually been through and the actual life he's had.
Dude,
like, his mom died when at the peak of his fame in the beginning.
But and people will say that he sold her soul to the devil.
They think it's people say that he may think it's his fault because wasn't she getting like some sort of breast reduction?
She was,
it
was
that
cosmetic.
He was probably obviously paying for. So there's a lot of shit that you got to take into mind. Because I've always believed that as soon as his mom passed away, the same as anybody else would, he lost his shit. You can't help that.
We're all human,
and
bro.
That's
his
where
mom
it comes
got
in
him into music.
Yeah, and that's how, like you were saying, like it's hard for him to communicate what he's feeling and his expressing, and he just probably was never the best at that, and I get that.
And that's super okay, right?
That's why I never take anything serious. Or just at this point,
I'm not good at having sympathy, or I'm not good at having feelings. Like, right? Like, you're not good at communicating. Like, Dude, it is what it is, bro. Like, we all struggle through things. Yet this is probably the most creative artist that we've had in our generation that we get to watch. Like, let's not
he defeated gangster rap.
Yeah, bro, for real. If you listen to his first two albums, like it's incredibly different. Like so let's
Polos,
not take word
pink
by word.
polos, you know?
Let's not judge this man for saying word by word, but let's take concept, let's take ideas, and let's think forward, bro, because we hold each other back. We hold ourselves back. And like at least someone's willing to say some wild shit and get stirred up a little bit.
And I know you said DZ's the Kanye of Austin, which I agree, and I don't think DZ is the Kanye. I think DZ is the DZ of Austin.
Of course.
But there are some similarities between Kanye's thought process and DZ's thought process.
I mean, that's what makes an artist. You know what makes an artist?
Dude,
a real artist.
an ultimate
you
artist.
have to be brave enough to think outside the box, think differently, to think crazy.
To
however
die for
people
your
may
ideas.
Call you, you know,
How many people that you know are willing to die for their ideas? Not many people.
Or willing to cook something up in their bedroom or just a studio out wherever.
Even like his
And then-
artwork and his videos, like
Dude, the Mind of Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy artwork, just that alone
Yeah.
was like game changing.
Yeah, 100%.
And this whole contract thing is going to be game changing.
Because like this is what I was trying to tell Mason. Shout out Mason again. But I was just like, bruh.
Here we go. Here
like,
come the Wayne ad libs
like-
all over.
bruh.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Let's not hold a man to his word just because of his celebrity and his platform.
Facts,
like all of our all of our ideas are they're all equal. They should be equally represented as human beings on this planet. But like he has allowed a platform to allow us to all have dialogue about his ideas. It's not just what he's saying. Right. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that artists don't make any money off record contracts. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we don't need you don't even have to listen to the music or even acknowledge what he is going through or he said in the past. Like, okay, he obviously brought up an important topic. Let's talk about it.
Why do artists make 15 to 20% of like their work over years and decades and whatever, and like can't afford to buy their work back from record labels who give them advances or whatever? It's like, should we just automatically just assume that this is the best way to do things? Never. We should always adapt. We should always grow.
Mm-hmm. And even just how I think contracts, and we never know exactly how all contracts are made up, but and I'm curious, Mario, what you think on this is, as an artist, if you were an artist and you were saying, if you got a deal that said you can make 80%, but you only make $1 million, so you'll keep $800,000 of that. But if you were to make $10 million, but you only keep 20% of that, which one would you take?
Oof.
It was 80 million, and
I wish it was 80 million. Either way, like you could take 80%, but maybe you only make $1 million. But if you took 20% and you made $5 million,
that'd be
but you
tough
only
because
own 20% of your art, which is a very hard thing to swallow.
Right.
But you come out.
I feel like that would be difficult because it really comes down to how much me or said artist believes in their own artwork and their own, their own project, their own whatever they create. You know, like, do you feel like this other person should just take as much money because they are the ones putting it there, or do you think your music alone or your stuff alone will be there regardless of how much they try to bargain with you?
Maybe we haven't talked about, or the dialogue hasn't been around this, but as everyone gives the flack for like these contracts, if you were to say you were to get $5 million, but you only own 20%, what if that 80% you really enjoyed working with those people? You know, if that label or that management team or the production team and all their families got to eat and they were able to buy their own land and everything, that's not such a bad deal. That's a whole team coming around a superstar and an artist and saying, hey, we're really going to make this happen for everybody. We believe in you, and that's why you give us that trust. I think at that point I would
just be more like, did you build this team together? Did you put the right people? Like, because coming off, if you were to, somebody would just build a record label in Austin, say somebody did, and they were to pick the right people, the right artist management, the A&R, the right artists, whatever, you know, everybody from Austin that's working here and currently in the scene, not just born here, but I think if they were coming down to that, yes, that would be reasonable because we've all started from the ground up.
Yeah, facts.
But you would ask questions if the CEO of the record label was out in Westlake having Cybertrucks
and you were still eating ramen at home or some shit. You know?
I can't just be okay with living comfortably. You know, if I'm trying to like get as high as the person who's working for me or you know, making my project is known as it should be. You know, I would shoot higher.
Yeah.
I would always try to shoot higher. You know.
And I respect that. I think we're in such a cool place because we don't we work with artists. It's not industry side. It's like not ultimately we just care about music and we care about the artists we work with. So it's like we don't let's just make as much money so that you can feed your kids.
Yeah.
Like, you can send your kids to college so that we can buy a ranch when we're older.
Go buy the grass-fed beef at HEB. Don't
Yeah,
feel
right.
some type of way about
Don't
that.
just
You
buy the
know?
regular cheap beef. Like that's where I feel like the job that you guys do is a pretty difficult job because not only are y'all doing this for yourselves, but you're taking a whole another person and their well-being into consideration. And I feel like a lot of people.
I'm feeling good now, Wayne. So I told you I'd settle back in.
I know it took 2 drinks in the shop, but welcome back, Eric.
Well, we still have 2 more shots.
Mario, you know what's really hard is telling like your mom or your dad what the hell you do in our positions.
Facts.
Trust me, I'm recording a podcast every week. And, you know, like
what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
And my grandma Mexican as hell, so it's like
they definitely
all
don't
they see is just me getting drunk, and it's like,
well, I came from an Irish Catholic background, so whatever kind of stipulations come with that. But my mom's like, "Well, do you have health insurance?" Not right now. What do you mean? What do you mean you're quitting your job? Well, Mom, I kind of have to go and do this. Yeah, I don't really get this, Eric. You know, I
get that a lot because I'm the black sheep of my family too, compared to my siblings and all that.
Yeah.
So it definitely is like it kind of pushes you a little back when not everybody understands, but at the same time,
Are you the youngest?
I'm the oldest.
The oldest. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Rebellious. Yeah, me too. Me too.
I've always been a bad kid. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mom.
Same. No, but
I'm the baby of my family, and I come in and like my cousin's a teacher,
your
my
sister's successful. Yeah.
And I'm here, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna go to Poland for 9 months and quit my job, and then come back and just do music.
Right.
And
They think you're crazy.
Yeah,
nuts. And then think of these conversations over Christmas.
Oh God.
So how's work, Eric?
What do you do for work?
Well, I'm gonna tell you about this album release right now. It's really cool, you know. Like, so we went down into Bastrop all the time, and we were talking about these slabs and stuff. Well, what's a slab?
I don't like that.
Talking about DZ's last album, DZ and EC's last album, to my parents and my aunt. My aunt was super like inquisitive too.
That's cool. At least they're asking questions.
Well, tell me about what's going on. I was like, all right. Well, how deep do you want to go here? Because I'll tell you about this album, and then I'll tell you about this Summer Jam production that we're trying to do.
Right.
She was just like,
yeah, dude. I get a solid. I get about 10 to 15 minutes of actual concentration before they just don't know what to think. But like even my grandma's just like, she's like, well, when people ask what you're doing, I just say that you work in music. I don't really know. What should I say? And I'm just like, Grandma, like that's fine. Like, why do you need to explain it? Like, who gives a fuck? I don't know.
It's definitely like one of those career choices where people are just like, they either don't take it serious or they take it too serious. And
Yeah.
it's because it definitely is. It's tough to get in it and really be established.
But it's hard, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
like I've always loved music. Like as a kid, I've always loved music. I've recorded. I would do shows as a kid, you know. And then after high school, I went to one of those like expensive ass like recording art school.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it was a dud because I learned that all on my own. But
Exactly.
the whole time, my family's just looking at us like, "Why are you doing this? Like, what's the point of this?" Like,
Yeah.
it's unrealistic because everybody assumes that you're trying to be an artist.
Yeah.
And make music and be famous like everybody else, but that's why I think people don't really acknowledge that there's the behind the scenes and everything that's going on that make it possible.
but now we can get in some real crazy conversations because then you only got one life here, so
True.
You might as well go to the end of the road on this rather than, well, I got to go get my paycheck every 2 weeks. I'm going to go sit at the desk, or I'm going to go do this or that, and then I have to get another human's permission to do what I want today. That's kind of weird, you know.
That's crazy.
So I mean,
I think we're all stubborn enough to just be like, well, I like doing this, so I'll figure it out.
Yeah, trust me. In the beginning, there was countless times where, like, obviously we record on Sundays, where I just wouldn't go to work on Mondays because I'd be hungover as shit.
Yeah,
And be drunk,
facts.
you know, I'm like, I'm not gonna go. Luckily,
Worth it.
I've been able to keep in the
Dude.
field and do what I want. But
I mean, it's crazy. Like in college alone, like I used to like, oh, I needed to stay up all night to write a paper about something I don't give a fuck. Like, meh, I'll just do the bare minimum. But if it's like, all right, I need to stay up all night to finish a video for some shit that we need to do, cool. I'm gonna make sure that it's the best fucking video, and I'll do whatever I gotta do to like stay up till 7 a.m. to figure it out. Like, it's
Yeah.
something about doing what you love that like is why we're on Earth. I feel like.
Dude, I put a limit when I was at the library in college. I put a limit that I had to leave by 9 o'clock, if not at the latest 10 o'clock. Because I had to get back to the apartment to go
bro.
smoke weed with the
Yeah,
boys, you
facts.
know?
Roll it up.
And at that point, I mean, that might have made as big of a difference in who I am,
Probably.
as opposed to sitting down and talking about the economics of how J.P. Morgan Chase and that bank came up in 1908. You know, some
shit
Man.
random
mean-
as fuck.
I just want to be happy, bro, and like I'm very blessed that I get to wake up every day and just be happy because we get to work on shit that we absolutely love, and like that's not to take away from how stressful it is. Like it's very stressful, it's very hard. Like we go crazy mentally, probably like week to week, day to day, but like ultimately we get. Someone told me a brilliant quote that was like, we all have problems. Every human on earth has problems, but like, what can you do to like make you can decide what your problems are rather than someone giving you problems.
Yeah.
I get to wake up every day and it's my problems that I got to deal with. And that I would rather
If
have
you
that than
solve
a
it,
boss.
it's in your benefit. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
I think that's been my favorite part about this whole journey since we started the podcast was meeting people like y'all, like Manny, Confucius, Fred, people that literally went from working a day-to-day job and
Yeah.
said, I don't want to do this anymore, and just pursued the career and what all of y'all do now. And that's my favorite part, and that's what's really kind of pushed me the whole time throughout the podcast. Because I'm not going to lie, I've had moments where it's like, maybe it's not gonna work out. Maybe, you know, like I'm still seeing small numbers, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I see y'all and I see
Yeah.
everybody doing what they're doing, and it's all right. I can't stop.
I mean, y'all doing your shit here. Is Dwayne walks in and is like, well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name, but
Shout out Dwayne.
person A walks in and goes and is tiptoeing through here. He's like, oh man, I thought y'all were recording or something like that, because he knows you're doing something real. You know, you're doing something. You're trying to
Yeah.
be at the highest level that you can be.
Yeah.
And imagine as this keeps going through consistency, what this could mean for the scene here. I mean, I know
huge.
DZ was crazy when he came over and had a blast. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
When-
he really told me he was really surprised about how it was going to turn out. So it was exciting to see.
when you ask a
That's
guy a
nice.
question, sometimes it goes to 5 minutes later. You're like, damn, you really told me a whole story and a half right
Yeah.
there. You know?
100%.
I
That's the fun
appreciate
part.
it.
You got my drunk ass over here just giving ad libs.
Ad libs, facts.
Hey, shout out Wayne for having the record and the most guest appearances on. What is this?
Hey,
3 now?
At least 3.
Three, yeah.
Shout out.
He came over all super cool and everything.
You know, we're back.
I was all nervous, thinking like, man, am I going to be as good as Joe Rogan? You know, am I going to be as good as Joe Budden?
I'm telling you, I'm gonna find Joe Rogan and I'm gonna present this to him, and I'm gonna
Dude,
find his secret studio.
your studio is better than his, because his
Thank
is
you.
ass.
Is it?
I will say.
I mean, Loki,
I
but
haven't
like,
seen it.
bro, just in his living room with like not even a mic. I feel like, does he even have a mic?
No, I mean,
okay.
yeah. I mean, he's got the nice headphones. I mean, this sounds.
Didn't he
like,
build
wow.
that super cool studio here in Austin?
Yeah,
though?
it looks
Joe
like,
Rogan?
Yeah.
It looks like
Joe
a
Rogan did, yeah.
spaceship and everything, but it looks like it's not. To me, it's not real anymore.
This is as
you
real
know?
as it
It's
gets.
like.
This is Southside, baby.
I mean, I know you use these blankets to get cozy in the winter. You know, like we're
Yeah,
here.
that's
real
if anybody
shit.
gets too drunk and just passes out on the couch because it's happened. So
Thanks, man. No, it's cool to be able to do the things that you want to do in life, and even whether that's now or whether it's 5 years from now. We started this 5 years ago as a hobby, essentially, like realistically, and just thought whether it was dumb or not, that we thought we were good enough at it, where we could just keep going, and we just kept going, and like
we are.
for now, it's like, you know, we haven't had a job. This has been our job for over a year. That's remarkable. I'm impressed with myself and you that we could figure that out. But and making 15 to 20% off someone else, like, you know, like it's hard, bro. Like, it's not easy. You just do it. Fuck,
Yeah.
just fucking do
That's
it.
what made Summer Jam, I think, this year, which I still am a little upset with our name sometimes on that, but I think
Summer Jam?
Yeah, because it's in New York. You know, that's where it
We've
originated.
I don't know. I feel like we made it our own though.
Here, yeah, I mean, did you watch it on Thursday? Did you watch it in
Oh,
in
yeah, I
full?
watched some videos on it. Yeah.
You can be honest. You didn't watch it, did you?
Yeah, I watched some. No, I watched some clips of it. Yeah,
Play with you.
I did watch some clips
Don't be
of
that
it.
guy, Mario.
I watched every piece of it, and I knew it word for word. Don't.
All right,
You transcribed it. No, but
No, I
to,
watched some clips on it. That's as much as I got.
I mean, we came in June and we
Yeah.
were talking with Confucius Fresh, and we're like, I mean, we have to do this.
Yeah.
You can't
It's-
not do it.
It's the third year. It's like probably the most important year in terms of longevity to keep the consistency going of this and what we hope this platform can be of the city.
Yeah.
So we have to do it. So how are we going to
How do we elevate it?
And it was really cool because like I've seen obviously a lot of these, all the artists all the artists I have them on Instagram.
Yeah, you're
so I've
familiar with
seen
it.
the progress like from the day that y'all actually did the recording. So
Yeah.
from the beginning, I've been hooked. Especially the standout for me was Jay. Like
Shout out Vintage J,
He
bro.
always was-
It's crazy. So basically, the whole thing was like we made a relationship with this event production company. We knew the stage, we knew the warehouse. It was cool. So we went to every artist and we were like, yo, think of the wildest thing you can think of, and we'll meet you in the middle somewhere about what we can actually do. And like, I think that freaked people out. Low key. Like, I think they didn't know how to
intimidating.
act.
How
I
many
would
times
imagine
did we
it's
say
intimidating.
no to something?
Never.
I don't think we said no to anything.
Yes.
And I think Wayne asked Jay about the car because I think Jay brought it up in conversation, and it was like, and he goes, "Hey Wayne, do you think I should do that?"
Yes.
Fuck yeah, you
Yeah,
should
please
do
don't
that.
not do
Like,
it, bro.
you have
Come
to.
on.
And we had to just when we were going and walking through the site. The guy was like, I mean, you could bring a car in here, I guess. You know, that would be pretty cool. And Wayne and I look at each other and like, yo, a slab would be
Sick.
insane in
And
here.
he did an amazing job as always.
Dog.
I've always like his perspective because it's not the type to where it's like this is crazy. I've never seen this before. Obviously,
Right.
being from Texas, we've seen this, but he just to keep it alive and still keep doing it, but just
Yeah,
his own
dog.
spin on it.
And
it's
shout
amazing.
out Morty for like really capturing how cool that was, because like us that day, how stressed we were trying to make. We basically had a 12-hour day of filming, and like to the T, minute by minute, how we needed to figure out how to fit 7 performances into 12 hours, which you think that's easy. It's not at all. And like we figured it out. But shout out to Morty for capturing how cool that was, that they pulled up a fucking car in this warehouse, set the lights up, and like and Vintage did his thing, bro. Like he actually did his thing. It took everything to another level. It did.
And I think it was for Summer Jam. I think looking back to the first Summer Jam, where you know Tita was there, Jake Lloyd was there, DZ was there, Maylot, Jay Soulja, Parallelephants was even there back in the day. Harry was there.
Yeah, wow.
For a lot of them, that was. I mean, there were, 350, almost 400 people there. Tita was on the cover of the Chronicle the day before that show. Chris Bosh showed up to Summer Jam. So to go from in person to all of a sudden in a production studio and to have to be able to do that, I mean, it was really cool to be able to kind try something new.
It was.
It wasn't just a show.
It wasn't. And it was like a new challenge. And it was cool because it was like you couldn't really lose, right? Like as the whole goal was to do something that no one's ever done, right? And I think Jay was able to pull that off. Like, how many times you could do a show where you pull up a slab in it and you just get to rap in the car and then get out? Like, bro, that's as cool as it gets.
Yeah, that's on some like concert dome shit where it's like it's your
shit.
Yeah,
Jay-Z does shit like that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
now Vintage Jay out here doing shit like that. That's
Yeah.
fucking
And
cool.
he brought his team with him to make sure he got the most out of it. Jay
Yep.
Soulja brought the people
Yep.
to make sure that he
And
got the most out
he's
of it.
been doing an amazing job just even from this whole year because
Yeah.
he's had his run with the shirts and,
Yeah.
and everything he's been working on and everything he does it makes noise from
Dude, it's
from
impressive.
helping with the protest that
Yep.
that's just him being just
Yep,
regular,
Thanksgiving
good
giveaway,
person,
whatever.
and yeah, he does a lot and I will like I've said this before like he is probably my favorite artist from the city currently because
Yeah.
just from the artist perspective to who he is as a person.
I mean, the
Facts.
dude, him performing, and I've known Jay Soulja for almost 4 years now too. That I found out about him from a dude from Smithville. And he's like, "Yo, Jay Soulja is crazy in the studio. You got to watch it." And I would be hanging out with my friends, and Jay Soulja would say, "Hey, I'm coming into the studio. You want to pull up?" So I'd bring coffee and whiskey to the studio.
Smart man.
And he was like, "Man, Rad's being real weird bringing this coffee and whiskey, but I might mess around with the combo." So him going and performing, he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what he was doing on the stage. He knew everything. Like, he was very well rehearsed. Everything was tight. It was like, a basketball team. They knew exactly what they're doing on offense.
Yeah,
exactly what they're doing.
Jay Soulja is a very professional person at this point. Like, one of the last few episodes, Troy pointed out that because we were supposed to have a set, we were supposed to work with Jay Soulja for Subway. He had us signed up to do interviews and set up his show.
Word.
But even then, when we met up, like a week or two before the actual event, he just approached everybody, like all the artists that were there, us, the most professional way, and just he has that in him. He has that, like, what it takes to be like. He has the mentality of a big artist.
Mm-hmm. He does,
because that's who he's. I feel like that's who he's destined to be, and it's amazing.
And I will say, and that perspective, Wayne and I know that perspective, and I'm trying to say this a nice way because I imagine some people in the Texas music office or the city music office or whatever listening to this.
White people.
But it fucking pisses me off that people don't give others the chance to tell their story just because they want to write them off. And you remember what we were talking about a couple weeks back about someone saying what they said about Jay Soulja, and we had to like slow this guy down.
Oh, yeah.
About what he was saying, like, I don't really know if Jay Soulja's lyrical content is okay.
It's okay. It's acceptable for families.
Well, I can tell you that Jay Soulja has lived life and is telling his story and is not doing it any sort of disrespectful way.
It's real.
It's real human shit.
And and all these other people get stories, are able to say exactly who they are able to kind of show themselves to the city, and then the city can say, well, take them and say, well, hey, U.S., hey, world, look at what's going on here. And it's like, are you upset? You don't want to show Jay Soulja because some of the city policies, he was in East Austin and then you moved him to Pflugerville, and you're not happy about that, and that's a part of his story, so then you want to hide that, and you don't want to have him explain what his story is and explain what it is about being
because it's hard out here,
a black man in Austin.
Facts.
So some of that stuff pisses me off because these are just people telling their stories, and sometimes at
some point Austin's not gonna have that culture and taste that everybody's moving here for it, and at that point, if they don't let all of us or the artists show and actually speak the truth, it's not gonna exist anymore.
It's not gonna be real.
Yeah,
it'll
just
never be
a
real,
memory,
bro.
and like nobody's gonna be like, all right, whatever, you're just talking out your ass. Like,
nah, bro.
Live music capital of the world back in the day, huh?
It scares the fuck out of me that someone's story or existence or artistry would be taken less of a impact because of who they are, what they look like. Like that shit's crazy to me.
It's just, I don't know, Mario. I feel like I'm talking a lot at this point.
Nah, you can talk as much as you want. Hey,
talk your shit.
It's just me today. There's nobody stopping me. We can go for 5 hours.
Yeah,
So until the whiskey runs out. So
we still got a little bit left.
We're almost there.
I don't understand it. Today, good music is good music.
Yeah.
And an old white guy told me that. He's not old. I really like him.
50s, probably.
40s. I'll give him credit. He
old.
Looks 40.
He old.
But he said good music was good music. So to me, no one can say anything. If it's hip hop, you're determining, is it good music or is it not? And we know there is not. There's music that is not good.
True.
So the city has some soul searching to do through this, and I think that this pandemic has really exacerbated those faults.
You can't rely on something that was like highlighted 20 years ago. Like, we're just in a new place with new ideas.
yeah, because they just think
people.
that it's just gonna be like country and rock, and that's it. That's all there is to the city. And people ignore that. You know.
And what are you?
What do you think justification means? Like you're obviously looking for a poor side of the town and exploit it.
What now? I want to ask Mario this question. What if you're a country artist in Queens, New York? Do you say, man, everybody's talking about Nas and shit, and it's all hip hop, and I'm a country artist. Why the fuck can I get some like genre equality here? That's my only question is, does it have to, does this city have to accept all genres because it's a live music capital of the world? So is it kind of out there? Because then if you're a country artist in New York,
I feel,
you feel
like,
some type of way?
Like it, originally, I feel like it would have helped because this is a city known for just being so big on music. Because you look at other countries, and there's countries that are not allowed to speak their thoughts or opinions, and they go and they become rappers. You know, it's a jail sentence in other countries. But why else would you do it in any other country, in any other place? Because you want to go and explore a different route. If you're moved to New York and decide to be a country artist, then you're just stupid. Honestly, you know, like why would you do that? It makes no sense.
Right. So, so if you move to Austin, you're a rap artist. Are you stupid?
No, of course not. Like, it's just coming from me is because I know that there's rap here. But like, if you were to you could go to some Middle Eastern country and become a rapper, but it's a risk because you might go to jail for speaking about whatever you want. You know?
Shit, dude.
I think it comes down to it. Like, no matter where you're born, if I was grew up or born or whatever in New York and decided to be a country artist, fuck, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, even if it meant at some point leaving the city. Yeah. Because you did everything. You've exhausted every sort of connection and power that you had to do what you want in your career. It's not working out. Okay, let's move on to somewhere else where
I might be accepted.
Work out.
And people
go to Tennessee. You know,
and people give shit to that. You know, oh man, this guy went or this girl went to L.A. because they thought that they could expand their music career.
That's a cliche. That's a sort of cliche because people assume people generalize. People assume that if you're in a certain part of the country, if you're in a certain city, you can only do this one genre. You can only act. You can only sing. You can only rap. Whatever. And then,
look at Khruangbin out of Houston with the history that Houston has
indie
musically.
Rock. Yeah, and they're indie rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's here. I mean, it's exciting. I mean, we hear
it is, man.
Mario, there's some music that we've listened to that is not out on the radio waves or the streaming services, and I'm excited.
Fucking good.
I have to listen.
You'll hear it soon.
I'll have to get my Achilles sliced if I let you listen.
Are we 16 minutes? We are. Let's take the shot. We've been talking.
Yeah, I'm just getting settled into the race.
At this point, the camera's probably not working anymore.
She said it's dead.
Oh my god, Miss Keisha's dead.
Oh my god,
the camera's dead.
Oh my god, Miss Keisha. Yeah, she dead. Fucking dead. She fucking dead. Come get y'all juice.
So, I'm sorry, I can't see this anymore. If you're watching this, you're just staring at a logo of IDK.
I mean, a great logo.
To be
no
honest,
matter what happens, this is the most professional podcast of South Austin.
And we're probably the most unprofessional artist managers in Austin. Probably.
You think? I mean, I think we can play both sides of the fence very well.
That's what
we need to be professional at a happy hour,
same.
If we're gonna be unprofessional, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, look at his arm, man. People are gonna be like, "Well, what the hell were you? Hey, we had to get a game of wiffle ball in. What you want to say?
Yeah.
What were you doing Saturday afternoon
for the boys?
Oh, you were watching the PGA Tour?
Boring.
Sick, dude. I was out.
Bet you didn't go to the hospital.
I was out hitting dingers off a parking garage. If you want,
I gotta hang out with y'all more often.
If you want to come, man.
Come on, bro. I'm serious. Let's do it.
I'm down. I should have had Jake come out here because Jake lives 2 streets from here now.
No way.
Jake who?
Yeah, Jake Lloyd.
Really?
Shut up.
I'll text him and tell him to
putting
pull
out
up.
my address, but yes, tell him to pull up. I don't know if he will pull up, but
it's still
late.
shout out Dove Springs. Facts, throw it up because I can't. You know what I'm saying?
That's only because of the shoulder.
Shout out Dove Springs for real for accepting me at least.
So what else going on, y'all? What else not serious or music related is going on? I'm sorry, at this point I'm a little drunk. Cool.
We can talk about not serious things.
New music. Is there any new music that you guys are hooked on?
Ooh, in general,
Are y'all fans? Are y'all fans of Griselda?
Love
Griselda.
I'm sorry, I did
yes.
not set that up
No,
correctly.
you're good.
He's drunk.
I've seen people work mics and know how to move mics. So now I'm on this. end.
We listen to a lot of weird music.
I mean, lately we've been.
Y'all listen to Gus Dapperton?
No, I love Griselda though. I love the grittiness that comes with that, and I think they kind of have that old school, really like KRS
New York
One,
rap, bro.
like grunge,
Hacks,
like
New
Buffalo.
York rap.
we're here to tell a message, to tell a story.
Yeah,
to
either
something.
hear it or not. Like I fuck with that.
So I've also come under the acceptance of Playboy
Say it
Carti
right, yeah.
and what he means to rap and Uzi and
Shout out to you.
so and I'm kind of one of those old hip hop heads
He
that will
is.
say
He likes Macklemore.
no I don't I am from Seattle. If y'all really want to know what Seattle hip hop is about,
It's not Macklemore.
it's not Macklemore.
Facts.
Go check out this group called Blue Scholars.
Wow, true.
Blue Scholars.
And Sabzi.
Yeah. I mean, man, we've been our quarantine habit has been trying to learn how to DJ,
Yeah.
which is really anxious and trying to learn how to do
It's
that.
kind of hard.
It's a lot.
It's
yeah.
fucking
kinda hard,
hard,
dude.
Yeah, I tried it once and I was like, I'm not doing this.
bad.
I tried to be a chop and screw DJ and I was like, I can't do this.
That's a whole nother thing.
So
Shit.
we've been deep into house and techno, and
Yeah.
for me personally, I've been really digging into some techno over the last couple of months. My favorite hip hop album out of quarantine has been Currency's new album.
so good.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's
The one that came out this week?
this
A
week?
few
No,
weeks ago, probably a couple months
2
ago.
months ago, probably. Yeah, it was produced by
with-
Harry Fraud.
Yeah.
Oh,
which-
okay.
Legendary.
He drops so much music.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing.
But this was next level. Then there's this other guy named Kenny Mason, who's to me Baby Keem 2.0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Rock heavy. Pretty
not
rock
as
heavy.
yeah, very Evanescence, Evanescence, you know,
Sure.
kind of influenced.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
I feel that.
plus as we're playing wiffle ball, we always listen to Juicy J.
Yeah, that gets us
okay.
going. There's this dude out of Dallas named Lord Byron. My boy Victor put me on. Really, really, really cool rap. But yeah, a lot of house music, a lot of techno, a lot of. Eric's opened my mind to a lot of shit. I try to open his mind to a lot of shit, but like, it's fun DJing because it teaches you a whole nother level of music where it's like it's not just the shit that you like. It's shit that like you think someone else would like.
You've
too.
gone to DJ quite a bit at this point now, right? To
Dude,
do
we probably
special
put
sets?
in
We've probably done
Well,
36
yeah, maybe
to
40
hours
of
of
DJing
at
over
least.
quarantine, which will teach you some shit, bro.
Yeah.
And we DJ, we go 2 songs by 2 songs. So Wayne will go 2, then I'll go 2. And how I look at it is I want to try and surprise him with my
Facts.
song selection, but I also really want to give him a tough song to kind of mix
Yeah,
into his next one. Like, hey, where are you going to take this one?
which is
Where-
why
you
I've been
know?
like I've been listening to some Tejano music, bro. I know, and like I'm trying to mix it in because like why
Dude,
not?
You
bruh?
had one that was probably 30, 40 minutes into a set that meshed extremely well with house music.
Crazy.
Extremely well.
But like that's been the fun part of quarantine. Is like, all right, we're not going to the club. We're not going to places that are gonna put us on shit that we haven't heard before. Like, let's put each other on shit that we haven't heard before. And so like, I love Mexican girls, bro. I don't know what it is, but they be putting me on some music, fam.
I wish y'all saw the camera right now at this point. I will say.
They put me on some music, fam. And like, I just want to share that with Eric. You know.
And I want to go and find the fucking grittiest techno shit to
Get me
put
fucking
me. But then
fucked up.
But then also, he's more of the Uzi kind of vibe of hip hop.
Yeah.
So when I find my sort of
You be surprising me with some shit, dog.
Yeah.
You do.
I'll be head
I'm
bobbing
like, this
and
is
doing some
lit,
crazy
bro.
shit.
Whoa. It's
Where'd you-
it's a great way to learn music. Is to just dig, and we both dig separately, and then like come together and like. We used to do maybe 2 or 3 times a week we DJ, but now it's about 1 a week because we be busy. But like now it's like, oh damn, what is this, bro? What the fuck?
And we
You're
and
playing
we don't
some jams.
We don't mix with headphones too, so we kind of go just
Song to song.
yeah. Hey, I don't know exactly how this one goes, but I was listening to it earlier while I was writing some emails.
Fuck it.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know how this goes, so you kind of gotta ease
y'all
it
wing
in.
the shit out of it.
Yeah,
Dog, for real.
but
it's fun, dude.
and understanding the DJ culture, and especially working with Charles Moon and what we were doing at Coconut Club before all this happened.
Crazy.
Was I don't know if you have you ever been to Coconut
I
Club?
never went, but I saw it was a pretty new venue, right?
And
Yeah.
this was
Yep.
It's not open anymore.
nah,
It's dog. They're still expanding. They're like when this is all over, Coconut
Coconut
Club
Club's gonna
about to
be
be
insane.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's like a European club, and even the people that, if you don't listen to house music or techno music or any of that kind of scene, you still have a good time there. And for us to go and kind of see what this scene could exist as over that time, and there's
Is it similar to what's that place over on the east side that where
Electric Church.
Joaquin started?
Oh, the Eastern.
The Eastern, yeah, there you go. Is it similar to that?
It is, but it's like even more accepting. It's like it's
Because
beautiful.
I feel like
It's
the Eastern was always like super underground as fuck.
It was, and it was built for creatives, and that's like what Coconut Club is definitely built for. But it's also like super accepting for like you could be gay, you could be black, you could be Mexican, you could be white, you could be whatever, and like you
could
can
be drunk, you could
vibe
be
out
sober.
here.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And it was
bro.
like a European club.
Yeah.
Which was different. I have my own qualms with nightlife here in
I
Austin.
understand. Fuck Rainy Street.
Yeah, don't get me caught on Rainy Street or West Six or anything
Or
like
Dirty
that.
Six.
I
It's
just
fun.
I just go there to offend people.
yeah, for real.
But it's so to watch kind of how people interact with music real time, because
Yeah.
as an MC you have to engage differently with the
Yep.
crowd.
Yeah.
But as a DJ, it's you have to only communicate with knobs and music and how you kind of
And the
work in
dance
different
floor.
songs and how you take the tempo and everything. And I will say this, we were fucking burning Palo Santo in the club, and the vibes were right.
Yeah, we definitely
the energy
changed
was
club
right.
culture in Austin.
People wanted to smoke the Palo Santo blunt, but they didn't know it was not a blunt. I will say it happened more than once.
I just can't wait. Like once Corona dead, like I can't wait to be back.
That's
to
gonna be
like
fun.
really
It's gonna
be
be
vibing
really
out.
fun times, but who knows when that'll be?
Shit, bro. Whenever we'll be ready.
Yeah,
You know.
for sure. So I guess since we're getting in pretty, I guess, to the end at this point, we always
Sheesh.
end the pod on a positive note.
Yeah.
Is there a positive note that you guys would like to leave
We'll start
off?
off with you
Something
again,
good,
Brad.
something happened,
No, I
something
think
positive that happened to
I gotta
you
take
guys?
some time to think about this one.
Oh my
Mike.
god. About positivity. Yeah.
Let's take the shot
Okay,
first before
let's
we
do
proceed
that.
on to that last
Facts.
shot. Because we finished this bottle tonight.
Shout out. Bullet.
Shout out Treaty Oak. Treaty Oak really does the real things in town. So
Yeah. In the namesake of positivity. Shout out to everyone who really believes in Austin music, especially music that doesn't get shine.
Yeah.
Shout out Treaty Oak for being a sponsor for 3 summer jams, man. That's fucking amazing. They
well,
really
2 summer jams and a love lockdown.
okay. We'll take that.
Yeah.
But like, they believe in music that doesn't be represented by this city, and they give us an opportunity to keep putting artists on stage who do a really amazing job. Because our whole thing is like, let's pay artists as much as we possibly can, because in this city they don't get paid very much. So shout out to our sponsors who like do a great job of supporting black music and brown music and like shit that like doesn't get supported by the city or its mayor, its council members, etc. It goes such a long way to like getting us to a place where we can actually do some positive shit. So shout out Treaty Oak, shout out Revel, shout out Black Fret, shout out, which y'all can do better too. Shout out Cap Metro. Shout out to everybody who like really gives a fuck about what we try to do. We really care about y'all. We care about the artists here. Just keep working hard. Your music will be found. Like, if it is not found yet, keep working, bro, because it will be found. And if it's good enough and you work hard enough, someone will put you on a platform where it can be exemplified to a higher level. And like, I think that was our whole goal from the beginning. So shout out to everyone who's like trying hard to push the scene forward. You know,
Man, my note of positivity is this might take a while, but
wow.
yeah, surprise, Wayne. Nah, how I play off of Wayne and my own personality is a little bit different. I don't know. I go in some weird places in my own brain, in my own kind of being as who I am on this world. And I hate all the flack that comes up from this genre. I hate a lot of this bullshit that exists. At the end of the day, I really just we live in a world where we have an opportunity to do a lot of stuff that we like to do, and just because there's preconceived notions or there's judgments or there's things that people don't truly understand, there's a lot of beauty that happens when pulling a layer back on an onion. Whether that's an artist, whether that's a producer, whether that's an artist management team, whether that's a podcaster, we're all here trying to do the best that we can. And I think that Confucius and Fresh and ourselves and a lot of these artists around are doing a pretty fucking good job. And I think they should be given the chance just to be heard. I think that this genre is very misunderstood for many years. And granted, it's not ridiculous to be misunderstood with all the Biggie, the Tupac stuff, the Nas, the Jay-Z beef, the everything. But that's not today. And I don't think that's a genre-defining moment. So my piece of positivity is, you know, as we talked earlier, it's really hard to communicate as human beings in today's world, and I find myself struggling with that, and I really want everybody to just take a step back. And this has obviously been a long weekend for me as I'm turning over the leaf with the new one, but really take a step back and just everybody's going through their own shit. And everybody has stuff that whether they're aware of it or not aware of it, they're going through it. So just give someone 1 second, 2 seconds of your day just to sit and think.
You never know.
You never know. You never know what the hell happened before, what's happened years before or anything. So, you know, to kind of wrap this up, and I'm just excited for the future of what's going on here. I'm hoping that everything keeps moving the way that it's moving. I really appreciate you for having us on as much as
Facts.
I've been in your DM over the last
Oh,
few
but it doesn't
months.
stop.
Bruh.
Trust me, I'll be over
We'll
next
be
week
here,
just
man.
hanging
We'll
out.
be-
You know,
we'll be- you know
Hey, I'm
me.
more than welcome here any Sunday, any given Sunday.
You know me.
trust me, I love Sundays. This is kind of the cathartic day. You know,
It is,
we're
yeah.
turning over the leaf and
Yep.
everything. So
Yep.
I appreciate you having us on, and you know, I always get in a big kind of fight with Wayne on this sometimes. Like, I know we're two white boys in hip hop. I know we're two white boys in house and techno, which is black. I know we're in black music, and I think we're very conscious of what we're doing. And I didn't choose and specifically try and go into this to make money by no means.
Right.
And I'm here to fight for DZ. I'm here to fight for Harry. I'm here to fight for Tita and Charles and Malik and Haley and Drent and Jake Lloyd and Jay Soulja and Vintage J and Lady Earth and Teddy the Legacy and Mike Melano and
Facts.
Paris Flacco.
Yeah.
You know, big shout out to Paris Flacco. He's a
Facts.
young kid coming up here that really makes some Neptunes type of shit.
Facts.
So everybody, and if I didn't name you, my bad. But
Hey,
I know who you are. Emerald Soul, you know, Naomi really came out with a great project.
Facts.
So, man,
Lady Earth.
Hey, we still got 5 minutes and 21 seconds in the fourth, so it's a 6-point game. I'm feeling like it's a 6-point game right now.
Just super proud of this city. Super proud of everyone who's working really hard. Super proud of everyone who like puts their creative or their life on the line to like really push it forward. Super proud of you in this podcast.
Thank you.
It's all important, dude. It really is.
For real, man. I wish I'm from Seattle. I don't know anything.
He might
like
start
this.
crying. Hold on.
I might. You know.
That's why I wear the glasses. That's why I wear glasses.
But you know, I keep my hat low. I really think some shit's gonna come up in the next
Of course,
year.
without a doubt.
So this is great. I think this is creating something new. This is.
And if you're that kid who like doesn't know how to get to a place where you want to go, and you don't know how to get on Summer Jam, you don't know how to get on this podcast, just keep working, bro.
Just don't hit up Summer Jam.
yourself.
Don't hit up Confusion Fresh 2 days before Summer Jam.
Don't hit up Mario. Like, I want to get on
Listen
the podcast.
to every episode
Nah,
first
bro.
and get your
Yeah,
perspective.
man.
Yeah.
There's a
Work
lot of
hard,
insightful
bro.
shit.
Just work
Download
hard.
each episode.
Yeah,
you know?
subscribe.
Like, comment, whatever it is.
Follow
bro.
us.
All right, what are your positivity?
Yeah, I was
bro?
gonna say.
Oh man, mine are gonna come up short compared to y'all. Shit.
Well,
God.
Eric
Shit.
took about 20 minutes.
Timeline, yeah.
Time.
Dude, we could have
First
done
and
a lap
foremost-
around the neighborhood.
I gotta go
Does
and
the
take a
dog need to go
piss.
on a walk?
First and foremost, I'm happy to have the both of y'all here
Thank you,
first
fam.
because,
For real.
like I said, it's
a
been long
pleasure.
overdue to have the whole agency here.
Facts.
We've had some of y'all's artists. We've had Wayne like a million times.
Too
at
many
this point.
times, yeah.
And we'll keep having Wayne
Babs.
Yeah,
a
facts.
bunch of more times at this point. But I guess my biggest positive note is that I'm happy that I was able to manage this on my own today.
Yes, sir.
With you guys,
we
'cause-
love it.
Yes,
We
it's
love it.
my first time running the show alone, and if for some reason this never ever comes up, I'm sorry.
We miss you,
I delete
Troy.
everything. Troy and Ashley, please come back. But no, I it does bring up for some interesting ideas that I have, special hosts and special episodes. So
Yeah.
I was starting to feel a little doubt in the pod for a while. Coming up to this, I guess today.
You can always hit me up,
But-
206-81.
Whoa, don't give out your
Yeah, I was
number.
about to say, I'm
Whoa.
ready. I was like, I'm
Sounds
gonna say
like
that.
rappers are waiting.
But it definitely did spark a bunch of new ideas that I have and
Cool.
stuff that kind of died down due to COVID. But yeah, no, I'm happy y'all are here. Definitely, Wayne has always been an insightful mindset that I could speak to and just
For sure.
give me his perspective. So I'm happy that I'm acquainted with both of y'all now at this
sure.
point. So yeah, I'm just happy we were able to do this and hang out and finally,
Vibe out.
yeah.
I'm just happy everybody's doing what they're doing. And,
Yeah.
you know, I spoke with Drent the other night at Harry's show, and he's doing things. You know, I think everybody's kind of going.
I feel like he from the beginning he was meant to just do big things.
That boy is star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as he's finding who he is in this world is just beautiful to see. You know, as DZ's finding his place in this world, it's beautiful to see, and all these artists. So
Yeah. A lot more to go. Like a lot more to grow with, and like a lot of people to build on everything we've been working on. And
even though it's
I'm excited.
we've done 5 shows with KUTX now.
yeah, they still need to pay us. Drop KUTX, pay us, bro.
The-
I need to
Please.
get KUTX on here. That's my next goal to have.
Hey, we'll get you
Confucius
here.
and
Yeah.
Fresh here at the same time.
Oh, that'd be
Uh-oh.
lit.
It's hard.
And
Hey,
that,
it's hard.
oh.
You know, it'd be crazy, Mario, if you got Confucius, Fresh, Wayne, and I on this.
Dog, that would
We
be
can
a
make it
special
happen.
episode.
We can make it happen.
I'll say when I was in Poland, I would wake up to like 120 text messages
Banter,
from
sir.
our group chat.
God.
talk
And I'd have to
shit,
just
Phil.
read through for like 20 minutes. Okay.
And
So
then you
this,
send a weird gif about someone like laughing or some shit.
you know, for something like Jim Carrey shit, or you know,
Spawn
Dave
20
Chappelle.
hours later.
Hey man, there's a lot we could do. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying?
mind's just getting started right now.
Yeah.
Hey, so here's to the future. I'm sorry we're out of
Facts.
liquor. This is the end of the show. I am Mario from the South Side. This is the
Facts.
most professional and unprofessional podcast out of South Austin.
Yeah, I'm Wayne. I'm from Hakone Agency, and shout out everybody.
I'm Eric, also known as Rad. That's what they
Facts.
called me on the basketball court
I
back in
guess.
the day in California.
I guess.
We are from Hakone, Wayne and I. You can also call us Hack-One if you don't know how to enunciate
Hack-One.
it.
Yer.
You know, shout out Mitch Ballard for coming up with that alter ego.
Shout out
of ours.
BMI.
Yeah, facts. You know the deal.
But I appreciate you having us here. I really do.
Until next time, brother.
And we're out.
Peace.
On and off and they go live.